this living history and national treasures, leadership is not measured by how many followers you have. Leadership is measured by how many more leaders you make. And so when you think back as you're coming up in your career, how you became leaders, it was because there were others who recognized leadership in you and groomed you and guided you to be the leaders you are today. So it falls to you now to do the same for others, to bring up leaders behind you. So it is up to us. It is up to us to preserve the legacy. And that's what I learned doing what I was doing. Now, being chairman of the 65th Infantry Honor Task Force is a volunteer position. Someone asked me to do it, as I said, and I went up and I did it. And the next thing you know, 20 years later, here I am. And it's $1 million job, but I haven't seen a dime of that money. So the thing is that over the past 20 years, I became enriched by being around national treasures. But it became my duty to turn around and help them be recognized by others. And so it didn't come down to they weren't recognized because of their ethnicity, because of bias, because of discrimination, because of prejudice. No. No. They weren't recognized because no one took the time to say it's time to recognize these men for what they did and put the effort in, because who do you think is going to do it for you? Someone else going to do it for you? So don't cry about that some ethnicity or my people or my this were not recognized for what they did. What did you do? What did you do to make sure that that was done? So it's easy to sit back and say, it wasn't done. Why hasn't someone else done it when you haven't done it yourself? So now there's no excuses. So this is not just about the ethnicity of a particular unit. It's about what did we learn from this particular unit, who overcame not only the enemy, not only the conditions, but also a prevailing attitude of the time. And so when I sit around these men, and they talk to us, and we're going to speak frankly, we're all over 18 and adults here. And we sit around with each other, and imagine these guys who are now in their 80s. Matter of fact, let me just mention too that the gentleman that Major Diaz said that I had brought here back in 2017 have passed away. They're not here with us any longer. So when we sit around with them, you should see how they, in their 80s, revert back to like 18. When they hear about some of the prevailing attitudes of the day, about name calling and slurs and whatnot, they were Puerto Rican. They should say, that's name calling? You should hear what we call each other. And if you're around Latinos and Puerto Rican, you know what I'm talking about. So you should hear what we call each other. That's nothing. So these men didn't care. They didn't care. When they said, oh, well, yeah, the officers made you shave off your mustache. So let me tell you, when my first sergeant said shave your butt, you shaved your butt. Right? He said shave your butt, you shave your butt. You do what you're told. Not the butt. Exactly. So you see, so there are those who try to find divisions. And what I come to learn with each of the ethnicity, heritage months, which is important for us to recognize and preserve our legacy and heritages, but for the purposes of what binds us together and the commonality of what binds us together. And it's honor. Honor is what I learned. The definition of honor is not what someone else thinks of you. That's not what honor is. Not someone else giving you a plaque, giving you a medal, or giving you a decoration. No, sir. Honor is to do what's right, even when no one is looking, even when no one can give you recognition for it. That's honor. Honor is doing what's right, even if no one else knows about it. So when we think about what occurred in those dark winter nights on that hill, during that charge, during that hand-to-hand combat. They weren't worried about who was watching them to turn around and give them a write-up. We do not know the names of the fallen in this particular instance. We did not know them fell by their ethnicity. All we know is that the ones who survived it say they survived it. They survived that battle. They survived that war. They survived those conditions because of the soldier who was next to them. And what they recognized was not what their ethnicity was. What they recognized was that patch they wore. And that's why they were. That's why they survived it. They survived it because someone else took their bullet. Now, I'm paraphrasing to you what was told to me. This is what I'm sharing with you. So none of them are saying that we deserved all of these recognitions because we were so great. We got these recognitions. I mean, the exploits that we did to get these recognitions were done whether or not we were given a piece of metal or